There's a woman. Mm. Mm. Yeah. And behind the maiden, we. Oh. She is under a tree. And behind her the flower grew and the man drew his blade and she froze in fear, for she did not know the serpent drew near. The venomous beast is now lost in the night. The grand cavalier's grand despair in daylight. And under the tree where the maiden dared lay, the memory now lies, confined to a grave. The beast who its teeth in her flesh a dove bore. He who has failed, she who is no more. Now you pass the judgment on figures of play. Which he is a sinner, which carries the blame. Is it a decision we can make? Maybe? Because we have to now decide who is to blame. The woman has definitely no blame because yeah, she laid under a tree and she is no more. And I don't want to spoil anything for those who do not know the story of Silent Hill 2. But I do get the premise. And that is why I'm thinking about uh, if I say that it would be a big major spoiler. That is the problem. I will try and I will try to keep in mind that I am talking here about a spoiler and just mark the time for you. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I do remember doing that. Because major spoiler ahead for those who don't know the story and for those who want to be surprised, skip to the time on top. Or above me, or I don't know where I put the time, if I remember to put that. The thing is, James did kill Mary. Out of despair, out of helplessness, out of frustration, and maybe even hate because she was really hurtful and hateful towards him due to her own agony and despair. And in my opinion, James didn't have any right to kill Mary. Because from what I do know, she didn't ask for helping him, or for him helping her die. So it was not even like death assist or anything. I don't know how you would call it in English. so it was not her wish to die. So, and of course you could argue that the venom or the sickness of Mary is the one to blame. Because if she wouldn't have fallen sick, then they would still be a happy couple. Because the symbolism of many enemies show that Mary's hateful words in the end really got to James in a big way. But he still did kill her. And so in terms of that, it is him to blame. But in terms of what caused all the tragedy and all that, of course, the sickness is to blame. But I would pick James because, in my opinion, and you all know, I mentioned it here and there at certain points that I'm also chronically ill, and of course not that bad like Mary. Please don't be worried about me or anything like that. I'm not like lethally terminally ill or something like that. But having a partner who is falling sick, it is simply a tragedy. And of course it is hard for everyone involved. But it does not make killing the partner right. And of course, like the enemy from the first enemy we saw, which I found out is calling lying figure. The lying figure symbolizes that James also felt helpless because he couldn't comfort or hold her during her sickness. The worse it got. And yeah, so in my opinion, James is to blame. Oh, 1 second. I actually never thought that they would implement that scene in the game. And that was actually also the scene that I meant. It was the one where if I remember correctly at least, where in the original, you receive the gun. He actually shot some of my bullets. Or did I reload after the pool sequence? I don't know. I reload now. And yeah, like I said, I never thought that they would implement that because sexual assault is difficult to show in a way that is fitting for the scene and the context and all that. Or like just there to be there and shocking. And I think they handled They handled it even better now than in the original, and also the original was really fitting presented for the scenery and the whole build up. And to be honest, this scene we saw right now was also one of the reasons why I was a bit skeptical about the devs and publisher taking on the second part of the series at first. Because, of course, Silent Hill is merciless in terms of which themes they take on. And I do appreciate that in the series. And also, we have to consider that they know how to handle these themes. But because oh, you look different. Oh! Holy. There goes my health potion. But it is also a thing, in my opinion, that Silent Hill 2 was at its time the most I mean, of course, it was the second part. It was the second Silent Hill in general. It was the second Silent Hill at this time, but in in comparison to, is it comparement? Comparing? Compared to the first Silent Hill. It was really controversial at its time. And please, I want to save. You are also that new thingy, right? I don't like you. I don't like anything or any one of you. So what I wanted to say is, and because Silent Hill 2 was really controversial at its time, and of course, I mean, you see which themes it is taking on, and of course, it is still controversial to handle such heavy themes, and that why, and then it is one thing to symbolize things like that in a game or in a horror game. Okay. But it is an entire other thing to like show them. And I didn't expect that they show this scene. But my respect to the devs and the publishers in that thing. That they stick to the original with such a determination. And still handle the scene really well, in my opinion. Saving point.